Hi, John Foster RC here. So today I've done bag H. Now bag H is the center gearbox system and motor. Only tricky bit on here would be to make sure that you get this orientation correct on the motor mount and the gearbox housings for the center gearbox. So H is fairly straightforward. You don't get a motor in the kit form, so I've actually I've got my own motor, and once you've finished doing that, you end up with a system like this. So you have the motor in here, so I've elected to go for the crawler motor, a 5 slot 16 turn. That's going to give me some control. All inside is the gearbox system and the locked differential, and again the thing you need to make sure is the orientation. As you can see on the manual there, from bag G, the shafts, the dry shafts, you need to make sure that's correct. So as you can see, the long one is on this side and the short one is the motor side. That's bag G, all complete, and yeah, looks quite nice. Quite happy with that, and that should be ready to go on to the next step bag I. See you shortly. So bag I is all about front and rear bumpers. So yeah, the steps are fairly straightforward. There's no major issues or any complications here. So step I, so you've got front bumper that ends up like this with the shackles at the front, little LED holders inside, no problems at all. And same again for the rear bumper, shackles, mounts, and the LED holders in the back of the bumper. All straightforward, nice and easy to do. So there you have front and rear bumpers, which is bag I. Nice and easy to do. On to bag J, which is the larger bag. Hi and welcome back to John Foster RC and the Hobby Table. And this time I'm finished the bag J. Bag J is one of the main bags in the SCA-1E chassis, and it's quite a lot of steps here in here to do. You've got the main chassis assembly that has to be main put across. Then you move on to the upper links for the front and lower links for the front with the dampers, and that attaches to the chassis. And then you do the same for the rear links, the dampers, and then attaches to the chassis. And then that takes you all the way through and get back to the last section, which is the wheels. On my model, the wheels are the deluxe wheels, which are really nice, the alloy wheels for the Range Rover, and that completes the chassis build. I'm going to show you now the chassis itself. And here it is, the completed chassis. This is the SCA-1E from, you have to excuse the cat, he's coming across to say hello. This is the SCA-1E chassis from Carisma Scale Adventures, and this one has the lovely licensed Range Rover alloys, and as you can see, It's quite a nice build. Actually, I actually did have fun building this chassis. This is all really nice. Nice suspension system. It's all nicely, looks well balanced. Quite weighty. So very happy with the build. Turned out really well. The other side is mirror image, so you don't need to see. Yeah, very happy with that. Happy with those scale wheels, bumpers, got those lovely shackles on there. Not sure we'll be using those on the Range Rover, but put them on just to finish the kit. And as you can see, that's come out really well. Got the electronics to do next. So this kit has the Velcro here for your battery pack. You've got your chassis mounted servo here. And the tray at the back here will be for your receiver and your electronic speed controller. And I've already put in a Spire Models 5-pole crawler motor here, so that's going to be going off and wired up. So yeah, a little bit more to do in terms of the chassis with the electronics, and that's the next stage, and then on to the bodywork after that. So I thought to give some feedback to Carisma Scale Adventures on the kit build of the chassis anyway at the moment. So one of the feedbacks that probably would help builders, I mean, it would be that the actual drawings of the fixings, if they actually drew these to scale so that you can accurately identify the fixing without actually using a measurement device. I mean, I used a fairly basic vernier calipers and ruler to measure the particular size of screw, and whether it was a they call it a flat head here. They mean that's sort of more for countersunk, and a pan, they call it a button head, which is like a pan head. If they provided that in scale drawing, that would probably help. The other area that really was probably a quality concern is these end cups here in step G. This is pre-assembled, this drive shaft assembly, which is great, but these ends were the wrong way round. So that's something that would need to be addressed as well. So that's little few bits of feedback, and the other thing is that you don't get any shock oil for the shock assembly, which is sort of the first steps. Not too much of an issue, but you know, people who might be coming into this hobby and taking this as one of their first models, you would sort of expect to have some shock oil, so at least you can get a base setting on the shock absorbers. One of the ones that really tripped me up, which I really do not understand, is I've got the deluxe model of this one, and this one you get the lovely scale Range Rover wheels, but the kit doesn't come with any M4 nylock wheel nuts. I think really that's really not really on. It would be, I can't understand how a kit wouldn't provide the wheel nuts so that you can finish off the chassis and put the chassis on a rolling chassis. That's a little bit wrong, really, and I think that should be corrected. How much does nylock wheel nuts cost? Really, they're not a lot to source, and especially if you've gone to the trouble like I have to have these nice scale Range Rover alloy wheels. It would have been nice to have a finishing touch with the wheel nut, perhaps even matching. But at the very least, a kit standard is really necessary, and I think is something that they should really address quite urgently. I have got some on order that are coming to me, but it's not the point. You don't go to a car showroom and purchase a car with your nice alloy wheels and then the dealer turn around and say, oh yeah, but you've got to buy your own wheel nuts to put on the car before you can drive it away. You know, it should be, wheel nuts should be provided. Other than that, this has been a really lovely kit to build, and I love the chassis. I love the way it goes together. It's been a really good kit to build. I didn't find too much problems. I didn't find too much difficulties. Just going through methodically. With my mind, I'm quite methodical anyway. But yeah, I really do love this kit. They've done a really good job, and you know, the pluses on that is that you do get a lot as well. You do get the ball race to go in the gearboxes, and the ball races to go in the axles and things like that. It's such a bonus, and makes all the difference. And this kit, this chassis really does look a really capable machine. Something that I was really looking for. So you know, it's really good. I'm really happy with the way it's gone together, and I've really enjoyed putting the chassis together. And the next step is the electronics and the bodywork. So I'm looking forward to doing that too. So I think you'll agree it's there. But just that little bit of feedback for Carisma Scale Adventures. But great kit. Thank you very much. And that's really, really good. See you next time.